Welcome to my podcast, bitches. It's not that serious, hosted by Sejal. I just completely messed up the whole intro, but I'm so glad to have you here. Thank you so much for being here. I realized that the audio in the previous podcast was completely fucked. It wasn't so good. And so today I am going to stick my mic inside of my face. Today's episode is called You'd Be Unhappy Than Single. Because just like me, in my previous 2 year long relationship, I was so unhappy. But I would rather be unhappy than be single, and which is why I was just with that person for so long. So there's a few myths I want to debunk. There's a few things that I want to pinpoint, and there's a few topics that I would like to discuss. So let's get into the episode. What do you think? This is not an advice. This is just a talk that I'm trying to have with you and to tell you that if you are in a relationship that requires thought, that requires you to step back and understand what is happening, I would urge you to do so. Okay, I think the lighting is a bit better now. With my past of all the boys I have dated, I have a fair share of learning. I just wish that I had started journaling a little bit earlier to recognize the patterns and the kind of boys I was attracting into my life. When I first started dating, I was about 14 to 15 years old. The boy who liked me, I did not really like him. Maybe I just was happy that he liked me enough, and so I gave it a shot. Obviously, I did not enjoy being with that person at all, and I wasn't even with that person. It was one of those little flings here and there, people teasing you, people passing chits with both of your names on it, people talking about you in different sections, and people talking about you guys, and just stories being created, and then you are actually not even talking to him. Like, I wasn't even talking to him as much as people were talking about us together. And that was my first time ever being like in the vicinity of a boy. So let's talk about my school a little bit. My school was a co-ed school, girls and boys, alright? And I was around all the types of boys that you would see. I have been with the boy who's a complete red flag, to the boy who's amazing, to the boy who's so disciplined, to a gay person, to a boy who's going to be probably an astronaut. I don't know, that kind of smart, okay? I had all variants of boys in my school. But I attracted this boy into my life. He liked me for 1 whole year after I gave him a chance. Mind you, this boy was younger than me, okay? 1 year younger than me. And I was like, let's give it a shot. I don't know why. Maybe because I was just single and I was bored. I'm sure it was because of that. And so I gave him a shot. And then we started dating. Let's call him X. Hey, girl. S- Thank you so much for disturbing my video.
Hi guys, how are you? I am her sister and I have also a channel. Please subscribe.
Do not listen to her. When X and I were together, it was one of the times when I had actually enjoyed being with a boy for the first time, and I was actually having a good time, except I was completely abandoning my own life to be with that boy. And he did not do the same when it came the time. So I'll give you an example. Board exams, right? The 10th standard main exams. There was a time when I had holiday between the two exams, and I used to go and meet him during those holidays when I was actually supposed to sit at home and study. And when it came to his board exam, because I told you he was a year younger than me, he did not do the same. He wanted to focus on his life and focus on his exams. And it's different that he came chasing after me after 2 to 3 years. 2 to 3 years. I'm not bragging about it. It's not the most good feeling, because they realize they're not trying to impress you, they don't really like you. They just think that you are attainable, you are still available, and you're still attainable to them which is why they try to come run after you. They just think that you're free enough to give them a chance. You're a fool to give them a chance. That's it. After that, the 2 year long relationship with Y, okay? I would argue that this was my first real relationship with a boy. He was 1 year older to me, and his name was Y. We met during the lockdown. We were actually friends, and that was the relationship when I got to know so much about myself, about how much I like company and how much I love yapping and how much I love talking to people, and I just enjoy doing that. And I don't know why I used to think that I'm an introverted person when actually I was just so extroverted that I wanted to speak to just about anybody who wanted to talk to me. That is when I also realized how much I love walking, exercising, drinking water, taking care of myself, my acne. That was also the time when I was developing the worst acne. And he was very supportive of me throughout the whole thing. It was when it started becoming so toxic that every conversation would lead to a fight, every argument would lead to everything would lead to an argument. So during the second year, when I actually became very close friends with my now best friend, I told her about all of this, and she told me that, why are you still with him, why don't you leave him? And I tried and tried and tried, but I just couldn't. And now, reminiscing all of those times, in hindsight, I should have been a bit more brave. But it started hitting me that I would rather be unhappy with him, because I was at least getting to be with him, than be single, which is absurd, right? You would think, wow. But people who are in love are mad, okay? We become crazy as humans. We just become crazy, deluded about the person we are with. We tend to miss out the most silliest of red flags, and I know that. The most important advice, this is actually an advice I would like to give you, is whenever you are going through your relationship from the starting to whatever it ends up going to, always have a person you trust with your 100%, your whole body, with every cell of your body. Trust that person enough to share every single moment with them, from the first date, from the first kiss, from the first anything, to how things are going. If there is something that bothers you, go and tell them. Do not, like, you know uh, do not butter anything, because that person whom you trust is giving you a third person perspective that nobody is going to give you the best, because they truly care for you, they truly want the best for you. Which is why I think it's very important to keep one person in loop of everything that's going on, so that they can basically make notes about your life and tell you that, hey, you're kind of fucking up, you're going into something really bad, I don't think this is for you, come out of it. It's going to be hard to believe them at first, because you're going to think, oh, this person doesn't want something good for me, I think that this person is wrong. And of course, that might be the case too, you know what I'm saying? Because advices are very, very, what is the word for that? Advices are very subjective, very opinionated from my personal experience. So now, how your relationship is with your best friend, maybe they're a traitor, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I think your gut feeling should tell you what to do next. And honestly, every time that I have neglected my gut feeling and instead went ahead with what my heart was saying or what my brain was saying, I have always I have always fallen into a trap that I didn't want to, that I did not sign up for, and it has always turned out to be bad. Not a bad experience, must say, but a bad ending. Like something that I wouldn't want for myself. Like, for example, you both plan a date at 7 p.m., Now you're all dressed up since 6 p.m., you're ready, you're waiting for their call, and they call you and tell you, hey, babe, I have an urgent meeting. I'm not going to be able to make it. So, why don't we meet later? Or why don't we meet at 10 a.m., 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. to you know what? Yeah. What audacity that person has to not only cancel on you but just meet you for something that they want. Now, would you do this to yourself? Would you cancel on yourself? Let's say you had planned a date for yourself. Would Are you going to cancel on yourself? No. Maybe if you're really exhausted, but you most likely wouldn't. Your friend who loves you, who truly adores you, no, they are not going to. So, yeah, I don't want you to be unhappy, but you can be single and be very, very happy. And it's only going to take some friends, family, some experiences, a lot of crying, and a lot of heartbreak playlist for you to get over them, but you will. So, yeah, I just had to put this out there. It was driving me insane because I have seen a lot of people do this and stay, people experiencing this and stay. And so just you don't deserve that, man. You really don't deserve somebody canceling on you. And okay, that's different. Of course, it's very subjective again. But you know what I mean, right? It's most likely if you're watching this that you have a doubt about your partner and you must go and consult a therapist or a parent or even your significant other. You need to go and confront this to them. Okay, the lighting is kind of changed because it started raining and I have shut the window. So I think that was it for today's episode. I'm so glad if I'm so thankful for you to listen and join me. And I will see you for the next one soon.